Hello everybody, welcome back to a new vlog. Hopefully I will have better reads this week. The book that I'm hoping to start today I think might be Verity by Colleen Hoover, because my friend gave this to me and I hear that it's like one of her better novels. If you've seen my reading November 9th vlog, didn't have the best experience with that one, so hopefully this one will be better. I also would like to get to the Literally Dead book club pick for October, which is You're Invited by Jayatissa. It is a mystery thriller that's taking place in Sri Lanka. Amaya is going to the wedding of her best friend and her ex. I think people are showing up dead. All the evidence is pointing to Amaya. The next book that I also have is The Last Housewife by Winstead, which I believe is a cult book. I'm ready to read all the scary stuff. That's like all I really know about it, but I hear that it's really graphic and just really hard to read. Lots of trigger warnings. It's very dark. I just went to the library to pick up 3 books, one of which is for a secret TBR that I've been working on for so long. The first book that I got is a nonfiction called The Good Nurse, A True Story of Medicine, Madness, and Murder by Graeber. Oh my god, I thought that I ordered the book that 5 Days at Memorial was based off of, but this is off of The Good Nurse, the Netflix film starring Eddie Redmayne and Jessica Chastain. Oh my god, I was so confused. Registered nurse Charlie Cullen was dubbed the Angel of Death because he was a nurse who was killing his patients. The second book that I have is Dating Dr. Dill. I think I saw someone reading this and they liked it. Odd because I wanted to read spooky books, but we love a romance. And this was just published this year. My other book, I'm like not really excited about reading this, but it's The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Mixed reviews about this one. We'll see. In terms of Verity, I only read 90 pages yesterday. I might read a little bit before I leave for work. I have read the, I think, prologue or whatever, and the first chapter of Verity's autobiography. She is, I feel like, trying too hard, or the first 2 chapters, but I feel like Colleen Hoover is trying to show way too hard that Verity is like this bad, sexy girl, and it's kind of off-putting. My friend did give it 5 stars, so I have hopes for it. I have high hopes for it. I don't know if I talked about this, but Lowen is a struggling writer, and she is hired by Jeremy to finish his wife Verity's series because she's now injured and unable to do it herself. So she is going to stay in Jeremy and Verity's home to sort through her notes and kind of get into her mind, but she finds an autobiography that Verity never intended for anyone to read, and she's finding out all of these things about Verity and her family's life. But she also has this crush on Jeremy and she wants to hide it from him and like protect him, but because she has a crush on him, she thinks maybe it's a good idea to show Jeremy so that he can fall for her, which is like gross because his injured wife is literally in the home. I'm not too far into it, but so far, easy read. I'm curious to see more of Verity's autobiography. Oh my goodness, I am so tired. I slept at my desk, no less, for like, I don't even know how long. 30 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes? I don't know, but I'm fucking tired. I was just sitting here editing my video. Literally, sir, like, I'm just doing my rewatch to make sure everything's good, and I fucking fell asleep. I couldn't find anything crunchy in the house to like snack on, so I'm just gonna chew some gum. As you saw, Cooper's here. I went on his walk for like a really short one because he came at like 12. He has separation anxiety, so he whines a lot. But I just wanted to do a little check-in. I haven't done any reading. I do want to, sir, please, okay? I want to finish Verity today. I have maybe half of it left. Holy fuck, I'm tired. I kind of foresee myself reading the entirety or the rest of Verity tonight. I'm already a little bit tired, but I've read 80 pages and I have how many left? About 100. My comments about this is that Verity is an extremely fucked up individual, and I'm starting to see a pattern in Colleen Hoover's writing in which she really just tries to draw you in depending on your morals and like how willing you are to bend them. This is really fucked up. But my friend Gina, who gave me this book, gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is like trash culture equivalent because of like that moral aspect, and I can't look away. Lowen is just so two-dimensional. I'm really like not noticing anything about her. Also, the Verity thing is creeping me out a lot. It feels more like a haunting, spooky aspect, which I know it probably isn't. Also, Lowen's sleepwalking thing, like what is that about? I have some ideas of what the twist might possibly be, because this is like a thriller-ish or something. It is incredibly fucked up, and I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just fucked up for the sake of being fucked up because of the morality aspect. We'll see how much more I can read tonight. It's 2:30. I finished it. I have thoughts, and we will discuss them in the morning. I need to read, but at least I already know what book I want to read next. Let's talk about Verity, because I finished this. It's now also Thursday. I have my new video uploaded for the week, but this week I've only read 314 pages because I've only read this from Monday to Wednesday. I low-key feel like I'm falling into a reading slump because I'm not dedicating as much time to reading. I mean, I am falling asleep on the train. I did go out more last week than usual, so I wasn't reading before bed, but I'm a little bit worried. Anyway, this book, initially 5 stars, right? But then I started thinking about it more and like constructing the review that I wanted to say and write down, and I think it's more like 4. The book was interesting. It was very scary. It was not the most atmospheric, but atmospheric enough that I was getting creeped out. I don't understand the twist. I feel like that's impossible because, you know, a lot of reasons. If I say any of them, it'll be a spoiler. So if you've read it, hello. Maybe I'll get into spoilers a little bit right now. How is that medically possible that they hired a nurse and that bitch ain't notice anything? Why not? Is she terrible at her job? What kind of pills are you taking? Like, what kind of rehab exercises is she doing on her that she's like not awake for it, and what, you have a catheter on or a diaper? I feel like it should be a catheter, but that sounds painful. I don't see how that would have worked at all. So logistically, you know, no. Now I finally understand the team manuscript versus team letter. I was explaining this to my friend Gina, thinking that it was about a different book. Meanwhile, she had read this already. She was confused as fuck. I kind of hate the ambiguous ending, but I feel like, you know, that's on purpose. But it also feels like such a fucking cop-out because you don't really know what to believe. And I think that the idea of the manuscript is ridiculous because why would you label it as such, you know? But all in all of these characters are totally fucked. Clearly Crew, like something is wrong with that boy. But also trauma. So, you know, he's still a child. The adults, fucked up. Lowen, creepy. I didn't like that trope that led to the ending of like how it all came together. Didn't like that for her. Didn't like that. Embarrassing, you know? Shameful. You're an adult. Like, girl, 30? Like, come on. Why are you trying to rope people into shit? But 4 stars. Not the worst. Not the worst. I told Gina that I finished Verity, and she sent me a link for the Verity bonus chapters, so I'm pausing my show to read them right now. This bonus epilogue changes things. Oh my god, hold on. Like I said, the bonus epilogue definitely changes things, and I think it makes me lean towards Jeremy being a really fucked up individual. That's like the only confirmation that I have. So I think that team letter in terms of like Jeremy, but for Verity, she's like a little bit of both. It's too ambiguous and I'm too indecisive and wishy-washy, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep my rating at 4. If I'm thinking about it too much, then it's not a 5. But like, oh my god. What? Ew, what the fuck? I also decided that my next read is going to be You're Invited by Jayatissa. I've been in this position like the whole day and the lighting is so yellow. I went to the library and I borrowed Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor for a secret TBR. She is fantasy. I also borrowed Isn't It Romantic, but I was walking away with it and I was looking through it only to realize that it started on page 27. Very last page of chapter 1. No title page, nothing, so I went to tell the librarians and they deleted it from the system, so I don't think I'll be getting to that one anytime soon. But now I've stopped with the TV. Oh, Look at this lighting, so much better. I watched the second episode of Little Women and I had to stop myself from watching the third episode. I think I'm liking it. The mystery aspect is very intriguing. And I've just been sitting here and reading. It's a little bit sus. Amaya does look very suspicious. She's clearly hiding something. Yet again, I was falling asleep at my desk before dinner, so I'm done eating. I'm treating myself to an hour-long vlog from Gabby, her most recent vlog, and then I think I'm gonna start getting ready for bed and just read, even though it's pretty early. It's like 9:30 right now, but I feel like I need to read. Not that I'm not enjoying my book, because I'm confused and I just want to know what's happening. Good morning, or almost afternoon. I read so much of You're Invited last night. I was kind of reading until I hopefully fell asleep, but again, I've been having trouble like falling asleep at night. I read 50% of this and then I just sat here reading another 30 pages. The mystery is pretty borderline. It's like the minimum amount that there needs to be to keep me a little bit intrigued. I just hit a point where maybe there's going to be more information, because clearly Amaya is getting a little bit unhinged. There are a few people that you can't really trust, a few things that have been slightly revealed, but I'm not necessarily like loving the story. It's still running at like 3 stars right now, which isn't great, especially since we're past the 50% mark. Maybe the end or whatever will bump it up to 4 stars, but right now it's just been okay so far. There's clearly something that happened in Amaya's past with Spencer, or possibly with Kavi. There's really no explanation as to why they had their friendship breakup. From what I can tell, Amaya and Spencer broke up pretty amicably, so I don't know if she's just like jealous or just like seriously unhinged and something did happen and the breakup wasn't amicable. I would love to finish this book today. That'd be great. The plus is that I won't be getting a lot of sleep again tonight because I'm coming back here for work to wake up early, because Cooper will be coming tomorrow to stay over this weekend, which means I'm here. I won't be with Coda, but the plus is that I'll have a dog and that I can probably read a lot more on the weekend than I typically do. I would like to read a lot because then maybe I can read the entirety of The Last Housewife over the weekend. Page count so far is 503 pages. Not bad, but like it could be a lot better. I imagine myself sleeping on the train to work today because again, I have not gotten a lot of sleep. So I think I'm going to take the time to take some time to read a little right now. I guess sometimes I like that the book is taking place within a timeline and then there are interviews by the security team who's trying to figure out what's going on. So they're interviewing literally everybody who's staying at the hotel, who knows the family who is involved, and what information they might have. In those interviews though, there are a lot of characters that are coming up that don't seem too important, but sometimes what they reveal is kind of important, but only sometimes, which is the annoying thing. Otherwise, just a lot of gossip. Things are starting to get a little bit more interesting because we're getting Kavi's point of view. Now I'm liking it because we're getting a little bit more backstory on what she knows, what her thoughts were on this friendship breakup, the thoughts of her proposal and Spencer, and why she's getting together with her ex-best friend's ex. She's also hiding a lot of things. I have 80 pages or so left. Doubtful that I'll be able to finish it today, although that would have been really nice, but I think I'll get pretty close at least. Good morning. It's 8:18. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. I've been getting the worst sleep this whole week, but I just like couldn't fall asleep at all last night, and I needed to be up before 8:30 because Cooper's coming over again. I fucking napped, basically. I'm ready for Cooper to come. I changed into pajama adjacent, a sweatsuit. Hello, my murderino sweatsuit. And then as soon as he comes, I'm ready to like knock the fuck out. I'm so fucking tired. I'm like so annoyed over this insomnia shit. I finished miraculously You're Invited yesterday. I was about to fall asleep on the train, but this little boy knocked into me, like knocked into my book while trying to sit down, and he woke me up. So thank you, I guess. I want to start The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, I read earlier this year, and it was one of my favorites so far of this year. I'm pretty excited for this one. I took a 30-minute nap just now. I feel so much better. I took a 30-minute nap before lunch as well. Feeling a little bit better than before. Mr. Cooper's been like extra whiny because he probably knows he got left behind. Little baby has separation anxiety. I think I'm finally gonna start reading. It's actually a really gorgeous day out, but it's almost 4 o'clock. Y'all hear that? I probably should take him out for a walk actually, for like a short little walk, and then I can read. I wanted to talk about You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa before I started The Last Housewife. This book I found really underwhelming. Like I said, I was minimally intrigued the entire time while reading this. I finally started to get semi-interested when we hit Kavi's chapters, her POV. Those were fun because we were finally kind of starting to see the whole story, which I really liked, like why her and Spencer really got together, which I think I already talked about. But then like the way that it like wrapped up, I did not enjoy. There also was a lot of, I guess, social commentary on influencers, which is basically Kavi's job. She does run a few charities. She's very well off, but she has a YouTube channel. She runs her own social media account, and she's very fake. I felt like the author was making fun of content creators. Didn't really like love that. Maybe it's more about like celebrities and people who are rich, but 3 stars. I feel like book of the month has really been disappointing me lately. I'm not picking some good reads lately. So now to tell you about The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. Shay Evans was basically in a cult while in college with her friend. In senior year, Shay and her friend Laurel managed to escape said cult, but years later she finds out about Laurel's death through a true crime podcast, and she believes that people that were involved in the cult are still active and still very dangerous, so she has recruited the help of the podcast host to go back, I guess, into the cult or like towards the cult to uncover the truth of what really went wrong and possibly find out the truth of Shay's friend Laurel's death. Dogs are not allowed on the furniture, but you know what? He's cute, and he doesn't shed a lot, and the blanket's easy to wash, and the couch is super old, so all in all, I guess dogs are allowed on the furniture. It is much later, and I read quite a bit of this, exactly 100 pages. It's really easy to read. It's definitely dark and creepy, but like totally my vibe. Shay is already now getting involved in the podcast process and looking into Laurel and how much she's changed. We don't really know how they had a falling out in college, but we do know that something is definitely wrong. I'm really intrigued, so I'm really enjoying this. I wanted to continue on the vlog because I believe I can finish the last little bit of The Last Housewife today, and I can do so because I don't have a weekly reading vlog to film actually this week. Last night I attempted to finish the rest of this, but I just like was not feeling really great yesterday. I read 160-ish pages or so. This book is so incredibly creepy. I have like the last little bit left, and my page count thus far is 980 pages. This is talking a lot about man versus women, how women should be submissive. It's very misogynistic, anti-feminist. It's really scary because these women who are joining the Pater Society, the cult, believe this. They dress the way that the men want them to seem more feminine. They do everything that they're told to do, and anything that they do requires permission. And Shay is like afraid for herself because she has to go back into this like cult type of world, and she doesn't know if that's something that she really wants or something that she has been wired to want because she has already done this sort of experience before. And it's really scary because she's questioning her whole life. She's kind of like into it, and all of the abuse and the violence, she's like kind of excited at the thought of that, but like also incredibly scared because this cult that she is trying to infiltrate is a lot more real than the one that she experienced in college. It's very dark and creepy. This book is really just scary. Welcome to the wrap-up portion. Bear with me while I put on my fucking stockings. I finished The Last Housewife on the train to work actually, which I was really surprised about. I really enjoyed this book in all its creepy fucked upness. I am having trouble deciding how to rate it because I read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, as I said, by Ashley Winstead earlier this year. Easy 5 stars for me. I liked this in a very different way
than I did in my dreams. It is a lot more brutal, but I liked the ending. I liked the storyline. I was very intrigued by the podcast transcripts and hearing more about Shay and her scary college life. Because I'm liking it in such a different way, I don't know how to rate this. It could easily be a 5 stars, but also it could be closer to a 4.5. But if I'm deciding between the two, is it more of a 4.75, which seems like such a cop-out, and I might as well give it 5. You know what? I'm just gonna give it 5. And I believe that Ashley Winstead only has one other book out that I have not read, and I think I'm gonna find that because Ashley Winstead just might be a new all-time favorite for me. Even if her other book is gonna be 4 stars, I still might really enjoy this. Okay, fool me once. This book is definitely not going to be for everyone. It is a lot to read. What's scary about a cult, more than like a serial killer or a murderer, is that they operate as a very large group, and especially one such as the Pater Society, one that is allowed to live outside of like this one like compound. They gather later together, and you really have no idea who's going to be in that society, who around you, who in the government, who in control, in power, is in something such as this that could be really influential in harming people and society. And I hate the idea of that. I find that absolutely terrifying, how higher ups might be involved in something that is just so incredibly fucked up. It's scary that so many women in the Pater Society wanted that. Or maybe it was just women who, growing up in a heteronormative, patriarchal society, were just so conditioned to believe that. Oh my god, it was so scary. I feel like that was a great spooky book that wasn't like horror. So that was everything that I read. I started with Verity, which I gave 4 stars. I read You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa, which I gave 2.5, I think 3 stars. And my total page count is 1,452 pages. I feel like I'm coming out of the reading slump with Goodreads, and I'm really glad about that. I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. Let me know what you've been reading so far, what your favorite books of October have been, and the spookiest books, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.